With JR leaving the promotion in 1993, they said, I could do this now. This is AI Buddy Landell, and you're about to listen to Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast. This show is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Don't be a dumbass and get offended by anything on this show. And if you do get offended, that's a you problem. Before I throw it to the fellas for another banger of an episode, shout out to all the BTT patrons, including the largest Patreon contributors of the show, Disrespectfully Classy, Mark E. Blassie, Mike Childry, Joe Ice, Good Old Justin, and Mike H. Now, enjoy this Outlaw Mud Show podcast, and remember, if it don't snow, it don't go.
Hi, everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Booking the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Woo, Messi, this is professional wrestler Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. Tell my people, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare miss Booking the Territory. Oh, yeah.
This is the one-man gang. You're listening to Booking the Territory Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast. For today, we're covering WCW Saturday Night on TBS from March the 13th, 1993. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on the video. And make sure you type a comment or two or three or four with what you liked or didn't like about the episode. Matt Wilson, I see you out there commenting 500 times. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody else who's commenting, thank you too. It definitely helps the channel grow when you place those comments in there and hit the like button or thumbs up button, whatever the hell it's called. And subscribe to the channel. That said, I'm sitting here with Hard Body Harper and Doc Turner for another fun episode of BTT. Doc, how are you? We've been talking now for 30 plus minutes.
This is the first thing I've said. What are you talking about?
Okay. We did a pre-show, but you got to be a patron to know what that is. tinyurl.com/Patreon BTT.
We talked about football and the current state of things. Anyway, guys, I would tell you out there in the audience, first of all, I'm doing great. And then I would say, hold on to your hats, because Harper in the pre-show has some thoughts about things. He seems riled up, and he hasn't started his computer in a while. And it kind of sounds like he's drinking scissor from time to time.
Does it?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. The Skype is acting weird.
So we don't know what we're going to get, but that's okay. We kind of never know what we're going to get. And speaking of not knowing what we're going to get, Harper, how you doing tonight?
Wait. How about
Harper?
now? I sound better?
You sound good. It just sounded like your connection was messed up, earlier,
right.
But that sounds good. Yeah, I think he
good
sounds
job.
good. Doc, what you think?
See that? I just reset it.
All right.
He just reset it.
I'm doing great, man. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we need to switch over and see how Mike's doing. As many of you may have seen on a few weeks back, on the X, on the social media, Mike, since the last time we spoke, lost his air conditioning in his home. Now, why can't you pay your bills?
Okay, you're funny. No, it's back up and running. It was not so fun 48 hours, but we're good.
So can I explain something so that when you're cranky and nasty to people, why that's happening?
Okay.
People are listening to this probably early mid-October-ish?
No, not that late.
Fucking spring.
No.
Yeah.
First week of October. but
Okay.
early.
Well,
Like the
it's
second.
much earlier than that. And it was 95, 96 degrees here this weekend. And you're sitting in a house without air conditioning.
Yeah,
What does it smell
luckily,
like in that house? What does it smell like with all those people sweating, and your family and your kids?
I told you the only thing that saved me was that portable we have.
Okay.
We have
So you
that
had a portable air conditioner, right?
Yeah, so and my mother-in-law, she's just like an alien or something because she was like, she opened her window and she's like, I'm fine. I'm like, there's no way you're
Old
fine.
people are like that, bro.
They are. They ain't got any blood.
People are like that.
I know you get
was like that. She could sit in a house with just the window open and a fan and be like, hey.
right. And meanwhile, like I'm like, no, it's like 90 degrees in here. It's not only 90, but what then ends up happening is humidity starts building because your AC has two functions. It cools your house and it regulates the humidity. So you get that, 90-degree humid moist air, and it's like, oh my God,
now,
this is
That's
miserable.
how it was here for 2 days.
I know.
Well, we're gonna get to you in a minute, and we're gonna get to you, and get your stories. But Mike, did it ever cross your mind to go to a hotel?
Nah, I mean, because I knew when they came out. Like we called Saturday, came out Sunday, and then, I mean, I knew it probably, like, the system's not old, so I knew it was probably nothing that like couldn't be fixed within another call. So anyway, the guy was like, "Look, here's what it is. Here's how much it's going to be." He's like, "It's still under warranty, but the labor's not, because of course they're gonna get you on the labor, right?" I said, "Okay," and then he says, "I'm gonna go get the part. I should get it in the morning, and we'll call y'all and come back out." And he wasn't lying. He was, I don't know, 12 o'clock yesterday, maybe. He was on his way over here and installed the part, and an hour and a half later, everything was good to go.
How long did it take to cool down your house?
It didn't take as long as you think. Actually, like, like I said, that portable is a pretty decent sized portable that I have, and so that thing ran pretty much all night on Sunday night, and our room in the living room area is connected to it. It was pretty, like, I mean, it was comfortable. Let me say it like that. Now, when I woke up and the temperatures
were crying to me on text, I got you.
No.
Okay.
It was bad on Sunday during the day because you got to remember, you got Saturday, the heat starts building, and then Sunday you go pretty much all day. And that portable, when the sun was up, it was working, but it wasn't working. It's not gonna cool the whole house. So it was hot. Sunday was bad because it was hot.
Okay. Well, we're glad that you're back up and running. Now, we need to turn our attention down south. Harper, when we last spoke to you, there was a hurricane bearing down on your people. Can you tell us, are you still alive?
Yes.
Sweet.
We still got boots on the ground. We're still hunkering down and shelter in place.
Okay.
It's over
Was it scary?
No.
So did you do like some foolish stuff, like let's go down to the bar and hang out with Lady Harper?
Back in the day, yeah, I would have done that. Not now.
Did she have to work?
No, fuck it, nuh-uh. Everything shut down.
Okay, everything shut down, so it was a real hurricane. Okay, now we did hear this, and we want to check in on this. You lost power for a few days. Is that correct?
Yeah, it went out Wednesday night, and it came back on like at Friday, like at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning, which was a gift from Jesus.
Now,
and what pissed me off? This is what pissed me off, right?
Oh, okay.
Entergy has like the outage map, right?
Yeah, those are all lies.
Right, and it's like half red in the whole like New Orleans area, and by the next day it was green. It was everything was popping up, dude. Everything around us was green. We were
except for a circle on the map that in crayon that said Harper's house.
Yes, this one little fucking red line, bruh, was fucking red. Like 95% of the fucking New Orleans metro area was fucking green, and we were still fucking red. I was fucking pissed, bruh, because I'm thinking, okay, the power's gonna go out next day. It's gonna be back, and it's no big deal, bruh. That shit it started to get old, bruh, real quick. Cause we're sitting around here with like candles, like we're trying to summon a fucking demon or some shit, with all these fucking, because I got these old Buddy Harper prayer candles.
I remember.
So fucking they came out of retirement. So we're just sitting in the goddamn dark with the door open, and with the screen door, just sitting here like, fuck.
Now, were there any looters in the neighborhood?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, dude. So we just kind of sat around here like a bunch of assholes in the dark,
sweating,
like we're fucking candles, just sweating. Now Wednesday and Thursday night, it was bad, but it wasn't holy shit bad. Friday night was like I was sleeping, and you could just sweat going down my fucking forehead.
I can't fall asleep.
And then about yeah, dude. I mean, it's fucking disgusting. And about Friday night, like at 1:00 in the morning, all of a sudden, fucking all the lights come on and the TV's blaring, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Turn on. I was like halfway asleep. Then I realized, oh shit, the power's back on, and I heard the dudes outside in the fucking truck doing that thing, and I went and closed all the windows, and I was like, "Thank you, Jesus."
Is there any better
feeling? I went and put on my fucking Me Tunes.
There you go. I know you missed that. That was a travesty.
Yeah.
But is there anything better feeling in the world than when the power's out and it comes back on and you realize that your torture is over?
Yes, dude. That feels. It's especially during the summertime.
Right. Do you know how hot it was in your house?
It got down to in the 80s. It was 80 something.
So Mike's house was actually hotter, but y'all have that humidity and that swamp shit.
Right.
Okay.
Just fucking.
Well, I mean, Doc, it was like 97 on that Sunday. It got hot, bro.
I know.
For us in Texas.
Just in general.
No, outside it was like 97 that day. So yeah, it was smoking inside. Like, I mean,
you kids must be going crazy.
They went to friend's house, didn't they?
Yeah, for real, dude.
That's the only time they'll leave the house.
They weren't. My daughter was complaining, but they weren't. It wasn't as bad as you think. I think I was the most miserable, followed by my wife, and then my mother-in-law's like opening up the window, sitting under the fan, and with a robe on, thinking like she just like, I'm fine. I'm like, you're fine. Harper's on to something with them old people with that, and I think it's because they like grew up without AC,
right?
You know,
exactly.
like I guess it's just like a minor inconvenience for them. Whereas, like I grew up in a house with window units, so they weren't as efficient as like, central AC. But at the end of the day, man, dude, it gets to 97 degrees outside and the inside of your house gets up to 90. It's like, that's a pretty miserable feeling. And then you run into electronics and stuff, and that's what made me mad. At one point my mother-in-law was cooking. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Just go get something. Let's not cook nothing in this bitch. It's already 90 degrees.
Well, you still had fans and a ceiling fan on to kind of keep the air circulating.
You sound old saying that. That's what the old people say. At least you get the air circulating. Yeah, I'm circulating.
But that
90
also
degrees.
sounds like a guy who didn't have that for a week or 3 days during the hurricane.
Bro, it got so hot that but the whole thing is you fill your bathtub up with water for emergency water. I don't know, she made me fucking do it, which I don't know why, because I mean, people used to do that because they didn't have bottled fucking water. So it was like last ditch fucking drinking water. So I got this bathtub full of fucking water just sitting there. I was like, fuck it, bro. I sat in that bathtub like I was a 5 fucking year-old kid and just sat in that fucking water, bro, and I'm just sitting there and I feel like an asshole because I sit there like a fucking kid. I'm like I'm 5 years old sitting in the bathtub full of fucking water.
Were you
I
splashing?
Yeah,
Were you
they're
splashing your toes at the end?
I mean, the whole thing missing was like the little rubber dinosaurs and shit, bro.
Do you have a little?
Like
Do you have a little battleship that you like? Fly
I was just sitting in there for about a half an hour.
Get you some bubble bath. Christopher, what are you doing?
Nothing, Mom.
Oh,
Are you just playing?
no, I got clean.
Yeah. So
Last week he walked home from kindergarten. This week we find out he just sat in the bathtub because I guess the water was halfway cool.
Dude, it was cold, like cold.
I believe
I
it.
was surprised.
All right. Well, this has been fun. I'm glad everybody has gotten themselves back up to a reasonable standard of living here. Mike, maybe you should get control of the show and lead us down a path to talk about wrestling.
I'm going to share my screen doing it right now so y'all can see it. The other thing I was going to say is don't forget to submit your 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts or Podcast Addict, and we will read it on air. Just wanted to send that reminder out there. And then also don't forget to become a patron at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. The best way to support the show, get 400 plus Patreon exclusive shows, including the video versions of what we do here each and every week. So please consider doing that. All right, Doc, I am starting the video version. We'll get going now on March 13th, 1993. Harper's stories about sitting in the bathtub was
hey,
pretty
you got to do what
remarkable
you got
there.
to do, man.
Yeah, you got to do.
Bro.
When the power goes out, it's every person for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this before we jump into March 13th of 93. You know the one thing about when the power goes out, I'll never forget about 3 years ago, our power went out for probably like 2.5 days. And it was right before summer started, so it wasn't too miserable. But it's weird because everything is quiet. You don't hear nothing
that's so
on.
true, dude. Everything is quiet.
It is so eerie that you don't realize how much background noise street lights make or just things make in the background. You could literally hear it. The interstate was like a mile from us, and you could hear the faint noise of the cars on the interstate. It's the craziest thing, but when it's not busy, like if the interstate, there wasn't a lot of cars, obviously late at night, man, it's like super quiet.
Yep.
But anyway, all right, we'll get into March 13th of 1993. This episode was actually taped on March 8th of 93. We are back at Center Stage. Last week we were not at Center Stage. We go to the show, and Jesse opens the show. He's in the stands in Center Stage, and so is Johnny B. Bad, who's with the fans. And then they throw to Shivani, who then starts us right and throws us right to the ring, where we see Shane Douglas and Ricky Steamboat versus the Masked Wrecker again, and his tag team partner being Chick Donovan, number one Dick Dancer himself. Again, the Masked Wrecker is dressed like the creatures from 92 Halloween Havoc, but that was Johnny Rich and Joey Maggs, and as of now, I have not heard from anyone who thinks they know who he is. Anyway, Doc, I'll go to you. Any thoughts on this opening match?
Well, we get some big news, and that big news is that Steamboat and Douglas have lost the straps. And they lost them to Austin and Pillman, and Jesse says, I knew it. I called it. I told you, Shivani.
I thought you were going to keep going. I didn't want to interrupt you.
My next comment's crazy. Dude,
What's that?
Harper, look at Chick Donovan's mullet. That thing's crazy.
Let's see. Let's get a real good look at it.
It's because of how his hair is cut, and then
It's cut into a very severe looking change in a haircut. It's a mess.
Well,
I mean, Shane has a mullet, but he doesn't look like a freak.
But look at Chick's. Chick's got like a bowl type cut almost.
Yeah.
And then
He looks like he had long hair and they flobied it and then just stopped.
Floby. Yeah, you see it there, Harper? What you think about it?
He looks like a Mad Max character.
Okay.
All right. Well, can I get 528? These guys need to learn how to work together.
Oh boy, who are you criticizing here?
I don't know.
The Master Wrecker is in the ring with Douglas. Yeah, I don't.
Whoops.
Whoops. I don't know what that was.
He thought he was going to go up, and then he didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Shane turned it into the Walls of Jericho or a Boston Crab.
Right.
All right. What else you got?
That's all about all I got.
Yeah, nothing really too much happening. But we get a double hip toss. Steamboat presses Douglas and drops him on the Masked Wrecker. And then Douglas pins the Masked Man. And 1, 2, 3, the former champions defeat the Masked Wrecker and Chick Donovan.
They went 8 minutes.
Yeah, we got time to fill. I mean, this was a 2-hour show without the commercial, so hour and 24 minutes with. So, yeah.
Did they show us how they lose the titles?
No.
They don't say where it happened either?
I think they may have said that, but, I mean, if you want to see that, I think you're going to have to buy a ticket still.
Oh, Mike. You know what?
Yes.
Next season, all the Pelican games are going to be on regular television.
Same here in Texas for the Mavericks.
So I was trying to figure out, Harper, because I saw that and I was wondering if there's going to be a way for me to get it here, even though it's on regular TV there.
Because they got that Bally's app, and I think they filed for bankruptcy.
The Bally's app doesn't give you the games. Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out if whatever app they're going to be on, because the Mavs are going to be on whatever app is you told me about, Doc. I'm trying to figure out.
It's not an app. They're going to be on local TV on some mud show channel.
Right,
like
that's why on an antenna channel.
Yeah, like we used to be on like we used to watch Ring of Honor, like one of those channels, and I'm not even kidding. And that's why I was asking you, how do I get an antenna hooked up? Because I ain't thought about an antenna in 35 years, and I thought you still had to get up on the roof.
No, dude, come on.
No, Harper, you got to hear this.
Place.
He confused the Harper, before you answer, he confused the shit out of me. He's asking me about an antenna. He's like, this is what he tells me as we're watching Vinnie Vegas and Danny Deese. He goes, bro, do you know how to install an antenna? I go, what are you talking? I know. Wait, Harper, I go, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, install an antenna. I go, you plug it in the back of your TV. It's a coax cable, and it just screws in like a cable wire used to do. And he's like,
right, and then you're going to scan on your TV, and it's going to pick up all the channels.
So then he says, he's like, so you don't have to get on a roof. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's been so long since he used an antenna. He thought you had to get on the roof.
No,
I had no.
They do have antennas like that.
Right, I know.
You want to get it really good, yeah. But, I mean, you go to Walmart and get one for like $20, $30.
Well, now
or
I
Amazon.
know that because I did some looking into it after the conversation, but I hadn't had time to Google it. And I was really confused, and then I confused Mike, and then we went around and around confused for a little bit. But then we figured it out. It was okay. We got to a good spot.
I was like, what do you mean install?
I was starting to get half-pot at you, though, for treating me like I was stupid.
He kept saying install. I'm like, dude, you're not installing nothing. It just goes into the back of your TV. There's no installation. What's wrong with you? I'm like, I have literally not considered the concept of an antenna for me nor anyone else I know since I was probably 12 years old. But then I kept thinking, did you not hear me and Harper talking about connecting an antenna to his TV? I don't remember. I know. That's the part of getting old, dude. You start to forget shit. Yeah. 10-4. Okay. The Alzheimer's kicking in. Any thoughts on Vinnie Vegas and Danny Deese? Danny Deese continues to look like a Dollar Tree Buddy Landell, but he looks good. I mean, he's not a bad little wrestler in the ring. And anyway, this was uneventful, and it was all right, though. I mean, it wasn't like I was pissed off. It was just there's not a lot to it. I figured out Danny Deese, though, Harper. This guy. I'm trying to rewind to the beginning. Just one quick thing. Danny Deese looks like the dude who is wrestling on TBS, and when he gets off tonight after the matches, he's going to pick up his girlfriend Martha from Mel's Diner in Atlanta, He's going to take it to Pound Town after like 3 Coors Yellow Bellies.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
What pro wrestler did you not just describe?
Well, the fact that it's only 3 Coors Yellow Bellies and he's picking his girlfriend up from Mel's Diner, probably not what your top of the line Ric Flairs are doing.
He's driving.
You tell me what kind of car he's driving.
Let's see. What is this? 93?
Yeah.
An 87 Dodge Ram Charger. And he's got one of those bumper stickers that says "Buy American while you still can." Japanese flag. Starting to overshadow the American flag. Remember those bumper stickers?
Jesus.
That's a great one.
That's good stuff. Hey, man, I liked watching that movie Gung Ho like the rest of us, but we need to take care of get these tariffs in place.
Oh, bro, don't get me started about that shit, bro.
No, come on. Let's not do it.
I can go on and on about why things are the way they are financially.
Uh-oh. Maybe that's a special patron episode where we have
I'm just
Harper
saying, bro,
financially.
It's like no one asks why. Like, I saw like in California, I forgot when it was, about a year ago, they raised the pay for fast food employees to whatever it was, 15, 16 bucks an hour or something. And the thing is, like that doesn't fix the problem. It's that no one asks the question why. Why is an adult who graduated high school, doesn't have a criminal record, they're not crazy, they're not a drug addict, they're not a raging alcoholic, they're not afraid to go to work every day, why is someone like that working at McDonald's when 30, 40 years ago that was a kid in fucking high school? That's the question you have to ask. And no one is asking that question. And it's the reason why was when we were kids, let's say 40, 45, 50 years ago, when you bought a Black & Decker toaster oven, it was made by some guy named Carl outside of fucking Cleveland. Or you bought a fucking Hoover vacuum, it was made by some guy named Joe outside of fucking San Antonio. And not only that, the parts were made here in America. The metal, the plastic, the glass. And it just created jobs. And that's gone. That's all in Southeast Asia. And so the only jobs they can't ship off to Southeast Asia or China is the restaurant fucking industry. Because I guarantee you, if fucking McDonald's could figure out how to make a Whopper in fucking Sri Lanka and ship that shit over here, and it'll still stay fresh, trust me, they would have done it by now. But they can't. And it's the only fucking job you can get now is in the fucking food industry. And that's why you have these people working these fucking jobs. And no one is fucking bringing this up. And it's like, bro, if I see this shit, bro, fuck.
I'm going to choose my next words carefully because I feel like we may be about to go viral.
I'm just saying, bro, this is what pissed me off. Bro, I got a fucking Nike gift card in my wallet, right? It's been sitting there since fucking Christmas. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the Nike fucking gift, the little Nike store, right? To get something. In this fucking store looking around. I'm thinking not one of these products in this fucking store was made in America. And then I'm thinking, just imagine if half of those products in that store was made here. Half of them. Half of those shoes were made here. The leather will become from American cows. You got someone's got to put this fucking shit together. Someone's got to paint the fucking shoe. Someone has to package the shoe and put it in a box. Someone has to put that box on a fucking pallet. Someone has to load that pallet to a warehouse. Someone has to load that pallet into the back of a fucking truck. Someone has to drive that truck to the goddamn Nike store. It fucking creates all these fucking jobs. It's just, God, dude.
Can I point out one problem with that scenario?
What?
By the time all these greedy American hands touch it, those shoes would cost $5 million.
But the thing is, though, I would pay fucking extra if I knew if it was made by someone here. There's some fucking 14-year-old kid in goddamn fucking Sri Lanka.
Well, that's a
being
difference.
Basically forced to fucking do it.
That's a different story that Mike and I have talked about over the years, where everybody thinks that they're politically correct in the way they do things, but every product we have is made with dirty resources or dirty labor.
Yes. Fucking legalized fucking slavery is what it is.
All right, Mike. Well,
I mean,
But tell me I'm wrong.
No, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. There's a whole lot here that the people conveniently overlook when it comes to the problem. The other problem is the reason they shipped all the jobs over there is because I believe in capitalism, but capitalism also creates that because it's like we got to make sure we maximize profits. So maximize profits.
Fucking Major League Baseball is gonna start putting logos on the batting helmets and postseason fucking play.
Uh-oh.
How much money do you need?
All of it. That's capitalism.
That's capitalism.
There ain't
all
no
of
brake
it.
pedal on capitalism, pal.
There's no brake
Motherfucker,
pedal.
bro.
There's no brake pedal, Harper. This is you grew up, born and raised here. Don't you realize how it works?
Bruh.
It's the country we were born and raised in.
No,
You're not
this
escaping
wasn't
that.
Ronnie's America.
All right,
Oh,
let's get this back on track somehow, some way. That was good though. Nice. I feel
All right,
patriotic and hollowed out by the
That's right. We'll
businesses.
put a boot in your ass. It's the American way.
All right. Well,
All right.
let's
Okay,
continue.
We got Tom Zink here versus Barry Windham here, and
Well, that's
Doc,
not
so
Tom
what do you think
Zink.
about
That's
this? Oh,
Johnny. Go ahead,
Who's that? Oh, that's his little brother.
Johnny Gunn.
Hey,
Johnny
okay,
Zink.
let me help you out, Harper. Since you got it all figured out. We got Barry Windham versus Johnny Gunn. All right, Doc, your thoughts.
Boy, Johnny Gunn fizzled fast. Can I get 15-16? Can y'all tell me here what happens? Because Wyndham hits him in the gut, and Gunn slaps his arm.
Did you say 15-16?
15-16. So Wyndham hits him, and Gunn slaps a different body part. I was confused.
All right, well, 15-10 right now, so let's see what happens. They lock up.
Oh, he kneed him. That was sloppy looking.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Harper? Barry kneed him in
Yeah.
the gut, and he sold his left shoulder for a second.
Oh, fuck.
You know why he did that?
What's that?
I think he thought after Barry kneed him, Barry was gonna grab the
He was gonna
arm.
go for the arm. Yeah.
and he was selling it before Barry grabbed the arm.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
All right. 17:55, and we need. Let's hear some audio here from Jesse, if we can, por favor.
All right, here we go.
I have to be, Shivani. By the way, you know where I'm going this week, don't you?
What?
I'm going out to die for Stallone, if you can imagine that.
Huh.
Who'd ever believe he could kill me? That just shows you what a fantasy land Hollywood is.
Hard slam down.
Yeah, they're filming. What's that movie, Harper, that those two were in?
Demolition Man.
Right, that's being filmed right now, and I remember there's a clip. They're going to interview Stallone on Saturday night.
Oh, what?
I
Yeah,
thought it
there's
was
a-
really smart for them to say it, and that makes Jesse sound big time.
Oh, yeah, dude. Because, I mean, Stallone was still, I mean, I don't know. I guess he's still big. But
He still is.
Yeah, I know, huh? Isn't that crazy how these, just, yeah, man, bro. They won't go away.
I think Stallone's great. I love the Rocky series.
Oh, yeah. You could knock Kim out, won't you try knocking me down? I don't like fighting the ring. Well, my ring's outside.
That's real good.
Left them, yeah, remember that? You should have left them on the street where you found them, Rock.
Darren, I love hearing Darren. He's like, bro, you know, one of the most unrealistic scenes in television, in movie history. I mean, who's gonna believe? Remember the scene, Mike, where Stallone and Apollo Creed are on the beach racing? You gonna tell me a white Italian guy is gonna beat Apollo Creed in a race? I don't care how much training you're doing. That wasn't gonna happen, bro. Remember when he said that, Harper?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else from this match, Doc?
I think that's all I have.
All right. So the finish is Wyndham ducks out of the way, and Gunn catches the top rope, and then we get that jumping DDT by Barry, and Barry is going to win by pin. No surprise here. Y'all talking about Johnny Gunn falling down the ladder. I mean, that's been happening now. This is nothing new. They got that music video, and soon after we're doing the job and looking up at the lights, and I think
Isn't
that's
that crazy? Grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah, pretty much, and it happened very quick, very quick. Shivani tries to interview Barry Windham about his win at Super Brawl, and then Shivani tries to ask Barry about Flair, and as soon as Barry Windham hears Flair's name, he just walks off. He wants no part of this, and this is going to go on for a while. So I wasn't going to play it, Doc, but do you have any comments about once Shivani said Flair's name and Barry just gets disgruntled and walks off?
I liked it. I don't know why, but it's something.
Yeah.
Well, it builds intrigue, and okay, something going to happen with these two.
Sure.
If he's going to react that way. We then go to Too Cool Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell versus Pat Rose and JD Wolf. Let's see. I think Harper's seen JD Wolf before.
Does JD Wolf really need a robe?
No.
There you go.
Wait till you see this guy, Harper.
Does he get ribbed for that in the back?
And the only thing I can think is he's doing some local indie shows or something, and that's why he's got that. But that's a bit much for the enhancement talent.
Yeah.
Coming to the ring. Do you see him, Harper? The guy on the left?
Yeah.
He's got a haircut like you and a robe.
That's nice.
Well,
What?
I mean, if your hair grew.
Oh.
Then he's got a
That's
Hard
nice.
Foundation singlet.
Oh, yeah, dude. You probably look at this asshole, thinks he's Ric Flair.
Yeah. Let's go get his bag while he's out in the ring and shit in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'll
boy.
show him.
Jesus, look at this guy.
Yeah.
You say that again.
Man.
He looks like a high
He
school
looks-
band director.
Bruh, you ain't lying, dude.
I had
Looks
chemistry
like Bret Hart
teacher.
and a high school band director mixed in with the Micro Machine guy. The guy that used to talk real fast.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, man, all I got is the people like Scorpio and Bagwell, so let's keep riding it.
We making
Yeah.
fun of this dude, but he's bumping his ass off for Scorpio.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
those were legit bumps. Like, he took a really good hip toss, and that drop kick, he took a nice bump on that drop kick. Like, he obviously knows what he's doing.
That's going to
But
be
he
Dan
looks-
Flamingo in 10 years, Mike.
He looks like Devin.
You send me a picture of that and send it to me. Send me a picture of this guy and send it to me.
Okay.
We'll have some fun with that shit.
I already know what's going to happen if I send it to him tonight. It'll be on Facebook with some kind of caption on it. Harper's about to go off on Devin. He looks like a stressed out chemistry teacher in high school to me. That's kind of how I looked at him. But I give him credit. He knows what he's doing. He's not just some schlub in there. So I don't know who the guy is, but I'll give him credit. Anyway, Jesse is just pestering Shivani about running off Barry just now before or at the end of Barry's match, and Barry not wanting to talk about Flair. And I got to give credit to a bunch of guys. I know Mikey and DFW said it. There's several people who have said it on Patreon. We had a discussion about Jesse and Tony and their interaction and how Tony's like the only one who didn't get worked into a shoot. And yeah, a lot of people feel that way. It's like Tony's ego just doesn't allow him to get worked into a shoot. He just went with it and was having fun. Jim Ross, not saying he had an ego, but as we've talked about on the show a million times, he didn't like it. But Tony just doesn't care. He just lets Jesse do his job, get his shit in, and then moves along, which I think is great. But anyway, Doc, any other thoughts on this match?
No.
All right, so finish. Scorpio is going to tag in Bagwell. Bagwell hits that perfect plex or whatever you want to call it, and Scorpio and Bagwell are going to win, and that was that. I got nothing else. Do you have anything from the finish, Doc?
No.
You said no.
I told you once. I don't know how many times I have to tell you.
Sir, I need some filler so that I can get to the Missy interview and Larry Zbyszko. That's why I asked you again. I'm sorry you don't understand that.
How's Missy look? How's Missy looking?
Like $1 million.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, let's go to this. We'll talk about it on the other side. It's not long. It's only about 35 seconds. Here it is.
Well, you know, ever since Ric Flair came to WCW, he's been surrounded by controversy,
That's
Missy.
right. I really need to talk to Ric Flair, and I know since you know, like...
Yeah, but everybody wants to talk to Ric Flair. That's the problem.
But you are the living legendary. And you know, if you get me back there to talk to Ric Flair afterwards, maybe you can tell me how you got the name, the living legend.
Well, I am a legend, and I'll use the influence I can. Later on in the show, we'll go back and we'll talk to Ric Flair. This better be good. And we'll be back with more WCW Saturday Night in a moment.
Boy, Larry's getting a little stiff downstairs, man. Missy's pitching some woo on the job right there.
For real. You also notice NXT uses the fake locker room scene.
Are they real lockers?
They're real lockers, but it's obvious they're not in a locker room.
I don't know how.
So we got a set.
That.
Right.
Harper, any thoughts on Missy trying to get a piece of Larry so she can get a piece of Flair later?
See, if I was Larry, I don't think I could keep my composure. Even though we discussed this prior. I'd be like, man, I hope you're not acting. Hope you're not acting.
He would break kayfabe on TBS.
Oh yeah.
Look, Missy, you can't do this because I'm really getting turned on. Can you imagine being like 18 years old and Missy Hyatt coming on to you when in like 1993 or 94?
Dude, you would come in your pants right there.
Oh.
There went the new listener of the week.
Oh, yeah, right.
There they went. If they made it this far, I'm telling you, Matt Wilson knows. Ask him. He'll tell you. He says it all the time. He's like, yep, there went the new listener, Mike. That y'all lost another person. All right. Yeah. All right. Doc, any thoughts on Missy and Larry?
Let's see if she can make it happen.
So then we go to British Bulldog versus Tony Vincent. Boy, this is super duper quick. Bulldog slams Vincent and makes the pin. Doc, any thoughts?
It was super quick.
Man, they didn't hesitate. I mean, they didn't need to make it long. It needed to be a short match, so
right.
I'm fine with it. After the match, Bulldog cuts a promo. Davey Boy once again challenges Vader. He says his point isn't quite getting to Harley Race and Vader, but he does say sooner or rather than later, you'll have to get in the ring with me, Vader. And that was that. I thought it was meat and potatoes. Did you have anything from that promo from Davey Boy?
I didn't have one single thing, but it wasn't bad. It was just quick, kind of like the match, and it was to the point.
Yep. So after the match and after Davey Boy's quick promo, we then go to Rick Rude, who has something to say, and man, he is a pro. So let's go to...
Bruh, did you hear what he says in this? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm going to play it, and we can talk about it on the other side.
The one line he uses that we'll get a ruling afterwards.
Yes. We will. Listen to this.
Well, Rick Rude, I know you've got the clearance from the doctor. You're back in action. A lot has happened. Of course, Dustin Rhodes became the U.S. Heavyweight Champion. He's heard about the challenge, of course, and said he is willing to put his name on the dotted line. There's someone else who's talked about that he's a number one contender for the U.S. title, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. With all this going on, first of all, I want to ask, how are you feeling after the injury?
First of all, I want to talk about Dustin Rhodes and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. It amazes me how Rhodes can hold his head up and even call himself United States champion. Rhodes, what you were was my whipping boy. Paul Orndorff, he says he'd be willing to give Rick Rude a shot should he become United States champion. Well, that's mighty whitey, you fellas, considering the circumstances. You see, had the WCW decided not to rip me off, neither one of you boys would be in the situation you're in today. Dustin Rhodes, I'm going to let it be known right here and right now that if you came out on your hands and knees right now and tried to give me back what is rightfully mine, I would refuse you, Dustin Rhodes. You see, Shivani, I want to work to regain what's rightfully mine. And I will pay with my blood, my sweat, and my tears to once again become United States champion. But most of all, I will make Dustin Rhodes suffer, and suffer you will. As for the injury, Shivani, actions speak louder than words. Next week, same time, same place, I'll be here, you be here, you be the judge.
Machine Rick Rude is back as we go to the ring.
Boy, he set a mouthful, Doc. Your thoughts? You were leaning into it before we went to it, so what do you think?
Can you say that?
The whipping boy part was fine.
Okay. The other one?
Yeah, I'm not repeating that.
I've heard that in my life and considered that to be a fairly racist term.
Yeah, I remember people used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
Back then.
We don't really say that too much anymore.
No.
And there's probably a reason. And no matter what we say about this, half the people, if we said it's not that bad, half the people would text Mike and go, "Why are y'all racist?" And if we don't go, "Oh, come on, it's just blah, blah, blah," half the people would be like, "Why are y'all so woke?" Is that correct? Did I get that right?
You nailed it based on the discussion we had today. You nailed it. You nailed it.
So whichever side you're on right now, just know Mike has got his finger on the block trigger and he's ready to block you. There you go. I'm not here to say he shouldn't have said that. I don't know how people felt in 1993 about it. In 2024 years, it sounded pretty stiff and maybe a little over the line. I don't know. That was a hell of a promo no matter what, because I believed what he was talking about. When he said, "You bring it out here and hand it to me," I would refuse it because I'm going to take it.
What were you about to say, Harper?
It goes to see how common that little saying was. And to say it on TV like that, and they don't even bleep it out.
The world was different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the world was right. I'm saying the world was different. I've said this on this show a million times. We watch 30-plus-year-old wrestling, and you watch it, and you hear things, and you go, "Holy crap, they said that?" And the thing is, the one thing you can't do, you can, but I don't think it's right, is you can't judge things by a different time frame standards. Because there's stuff that we all heard, all of us listening to this that lived back then, that heard things on TV, and we didn't bat an eye. We just kept on walking. It wasn't no big thing. But then you hear it now, and your ears go, "Damn, did they just say that?" We've done that a ton of times on this show. the JYD promo where he's, now you see how it feel when somebody trying to buy you. We did it then. We did it when Rocky King was dancing in the ring and Ric Flair was calling him a boy. I mean, we've done it. We've seen it. There's countless examples on this show where we're like, damn, they said that? So, I mean, like, it doesn't surprise me anymore when something's said. It's just, okay. But I'm not about to get outraged over it because it's from 1993. And I think, to Doc's point, we were having a discussion about this earlier. If you don't go hard enough against something like this, you get told, oh, my God, what is wrong with you? If you go hard against
problem.
If you go hard against something like this, they go, oh, you're too woke. It's like, nah, I'm just watching 30-year-old wrestling. I don't know what you want me to say. Rick Rude is no longer with us. Am I supposed to crucify him over a comment? I'm not doing that.
Good in that suit, bro.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
He looks
real
damn good.
Look.
Yeah.
We say this all the time. That dude's a star.
And he has presence.
And got presence. And he's so condescending in that smugness. Bruh, Rude gets injured. We got robbed of. I'd love to have seen. I know we saw him in the Monday Night Wars, but I'd love to have seen Rick Rude, the wrestler, during that time period.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we got him, but we didn't get him like we had him in late 80s, early 90s. Because Rick Rude, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but he's an underrated promo. Like, I think if you said name your top 4 promo guys of all time, I bet you a lot of people don't include Rick Rude, but goddamn, he can cut a promo.
But he's solid. Real solid.
He's outstanding. So, yeah, he looks real. I'm with you, Harper. He looks real good in that suit. Real good. He's a pro's pro. All right. Any other thoughts on that since we danced the walk the line and now we made everybody mad, Doc?
No, it's, way to play heel, Mike.
Yeah. Way to play babyface, Doc.
Yep.
Tex Slashinger and Shanghai Pierce are taking on Bobby Baker and Scotty McKeefer. Doc, I don't really have anything from this because this is going to lead to another match, but did you have any thoughts?
I can do you one better.
Yes.
Not only do I not have any thoughts about this, I don't have any thoughts about what you're going to talk about next either.
For real.
It's got the big fat FF.
All right. So we will continue. After Tex and Shanghai win, Slashinger gets on the mic and challenges the Cole twins. Grizzly, the piece of shit, comes out and grabs the mic and says, okay, y'all can do it now. So the Cole twins come out and they get the heels to powder out of the ring. Anyway, these guys end up working a match. Harper, I did want to say something to you. I posted the Cole twins clip that when you were talking about their mullets and, you got to work really goddamn hard to look that stupid. Apparently, one of their nephews commented on it on the YouTube channel and said, oh, look, my uncles are still making the shoot rounds. I don't know what that meant. So if you listen to this now, we do a show weekly where we talk about old wrestling. So welcome to the show and welcome to BTT. If you're listening out there, Cole Twins' nephew, tell them we got nothing but respect for them. But when you look at their mullets in 2024 eyes, Harper, what did you say it looks like?
Oh, God, what did I say?
It looks like a horse's ass.
Yeah, the back of it, the front of it looks like guile, and the back of it looks like a horse's ass.
Yeah, so no disrespect to them. I'm sure they're fine Christian athletes.
Hey, we've all had it.
What am I saying that's not true?
Right,
nothing.
We've all had
I'm just talking to their nephew.
Made us look like assholes.
Oh, boy, fuck, you ain't lying about that shit.
Boy,
so if you're going to look at that hair and have it and go, look back on it and go, it's not that bad, then you're really not somebody I need to talk to.
Oh, no. The person wasn't saying we were wrong. I was just saying that we got a comment about it. They were saying they were glad, I guess, to hear their uncles being talked about.
Hey,
so,
we'll respect we'll respect them in the ring. That hair ain't gonna get no respect, but that's okay. It doesn't have to.
Bro, that hair is something.
Yeah.
Dude, that hair is something.
Here's the thing. You have to work at that every day.
Oh.
and I guarantee you, it probably takes longer than you think it does. to keep that shit going.
Right, because you got to shave the sides
Right.
a certain length.
And then the top
You got
has to be perfectly cut.
Right.
And
Yeah.
don't fuck with the back of it. No, baby. I'm gonna grow that out. Are you sure I could take that off right now? No, baby. I like this.
Oh, God. All right. Well, the finish of this thing, the Cole Twins are working over both guys. They hit a double drop kick on Pierce, and the Cole Twins win by pin. The crowd actually enjoys this. The Wrecking Crew comes out at the end, and they chase off the Cole Twins. The Cole Twins powder out the ring and celebrate. It was what it was. I have to say, the fans do like these guys. So, for what it's worth, they're cheering for them and enjoying the Cole Twins and those outstanding, ridiculous 1993 mullets. And that's all I got. We then go to Max Payne versus TC Carter, Doc. I love me some TC Carter. That outfit is just on point, man. But anyway, I didn't really watch this because until Max Payne starts changing things up, it's very uninterested. Your thoughts, if any?
I like TC.
I do too.
That's about all I had.
It's a cool looking dude, man. The hat, the jacket, the pants.
Yeah.
He's smooth, man. Look at him. Yeah. Looking good. Anyway, and no thoughts on the match, obviously.
Get a bum of smoke from you.
Come on.
Boy, if that's not racist, I don't know what is.
I'm just saying, like, that's what I picture him saying.
Okay, I get that. That was understood.
Probably Max Payne, too.
Okay.
Now there's some truth there. There's a lot of truth there. I used to Harper, do you remember Sugar Bowl bowling lanes that not when they moved it to Chef, but when it used to be on Franklin Avenue in New Orleans?
Are those real words?
What?
You don't remember Sugar Bowl? It was a bowling
alley?
Yeah. It used to be on Franklin Avenue in Gentilly where I grew up. And then it moved to Chef Highway where it was Orbit lanes, and then they changed it to Sugar Bowl. They basically moved. Okay. Anyway, it reminded me that when I was a kid, the old white guys who would be standing outside of there and would try to bum a cigarette from somebody. So when you said that, that's what I was thinking.
Hey, bro, you got a cigarette? Yeah.
And why do people who smoke never have a lighter on them?
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
Anyway, we'll continue. Larry Zbyszko and Missy Hyatt attempt to interview Barbarian. I don't know what to make of it. It lasted like 20 seconds, and then we went to commercial. Doc, did you have anything? It made no sense.
I skipped even taking notes on it, if we're going to be honest.
Fair enough. We then go to Vader versus a gentleman by the name of Dave Hart. Another quick match. Vader powerbombs Hart and wins, and that was that. Doc, any thoughts?
My only note there was Dave Hart was outnumbered.
Outnumbered as in weight, or what are we talking about here?
And he needed more people with him to help.
Oh, for sure. We then go to something that I don't remember watching during Saturday night, and that is the Bruise Brothers versus Brad Anderson and Terry Bronson. Ron and Don Harris are on Saturday night on TBS. And there's some big sun guns, but we talked about that.
Yeah, man. They're fucking huge, huh?
Yeah.
Like walking telephone poles.
They really are. And they go to Smoky Mountain right after this. I don't remember if they ever make another appearance, but anyway. Doc, did this shock you?
I was surprised.
Yeah.
And they didn't look
I don't
bad.
remember it. No, they look like
signed them.
I think they're hurt by the fact that there's two of them. If one dude looked like that, you turn him into Bruiser Brody type, it would be on. But they're less special because there's two of them.
I think. Okay, I don't really agree with that. I think
You do. You just don't want to say it, but it's all right. You'll tell me later.
We talked about this during the Smoky Mountain shows. I think they look great. They're formidable in the ring. Their promos were not good in Smoky Mountain Wrestling.
No, my next thing when they come out there and talk after the matches, they need a manager.
They needed somebody to do some talking for them because they cut
Correct.
a promo and they don't really say much. And it reminded me of the Smoky Mountain promos where I was like, okay,
Just
right.
once and for all.
Yeah. Anyway, any other thoughts on this?
No, it was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, double slam by the Bruise Brothers, and they win by pin. It went like 10 minutes, though. Because you had all those other matches that were going quick, so they gave them a lot of time, which was really weird, but whatever. I'm not mad about it. I had not planned on playing this promo. Did you want to hear it, Doc?
Not really, no.
Yeah, it's not good. But speaking of promos, I will be playing the next one. After the Bruise Brothers cut their quick promo where they do nothing but scream, we then go to Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. And let's go to that right now.
Security men and Arn Anderson once again here on WCW Saturday Night.
Tony Schiavone, I don't want to bring down the excitement level of this crowd, but at this time I'd like to announce a death in the family. My death. The Arn Anderson of about a year or so ago is dead and gone, dead and buried. But at the same time, I'd like to announce a rebirth, my own rebirth. In 1993, you're going to see a different Arn Anderson. I'm going to go back to about 1985 when I was first starting out, earning my reputation on a nightly basis. Each and every night was a new beginning. You see, you can get so good, familiarity breeds apathy. You can get so good at something, you think you know it all. I was at that stage about a year ago. Well, I found out the hard way I didn't know it all. But with Ric Flair's return, the excitement level within myself, being focused on what I have to go after, I just want to make an announcement to each and every title holder out there, whoever it may be. You got a new contender. You're looking at him, Arn Anderson. Tell him, H.
Eric Watts, make the best of this moment because your career in professional wrestling, woo! All right, it's short-lived. Tony, do you feel it? You smell it? They call it excitement in here. Woo! This is WCW Saturday Night. This is Atlanta, Georgia, and I am, in my own modest way, the Nature Boy, standing side by side with the Enforcer. What does that mean? Woo! I'll tell you what it means. It means when the time is right, when you're ready, and I'll say it one more time, whether you like it or you don't like it, woo! Learn to love it because it's the best thing. Woo! Go in today.
Let's go to the ring.
Thoughts, Doc?
Much better than last week's, and I liked it, and I'm ready for them to get into something and start piling up some titles, bro.
Dude, he told Eric Watts, your career in pro wrestling is over.
That's nice.
I'm just saying, it's the second week in a row.
Yeah.
He said something about Eric Watts, and boy, it can't feel good. I mean, it can't feel good being buried.
No, Daddy left. Daddy said sell, and then he left. And now
Boy.
I got the greatest in the game out there saying, cutting inside baseball promos at me.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And there's nothing he can do about it.
Nothing.
Nothing.
As Arn said, your political capital is gone. It's like, bro, you're done. You're cooked. Oh, boy. All right. Well, we continue. Let's go to Paul Orndorff versus Dustin Rhodes. This is Rick Rude was talking about this match. Rude is on commentary with Tony and Jesse. Doc, I'll go to you. This pretty much eats up the last part of the show. This is the main event. What are your thoughts on this one?
Man, this was a good ass wrestling match. There was
Whoa.
Yeah.
what?
Those two beasts.
Oh. Well, I got another crowd thing we're going to get into here in a minute. But, you know, let's say what we always say. You know, it's not that hard. They're chanting Paula. We're fighting over you're a girl. And there's a big fight feel. We're fighting over a title. We got stars and names out there, and the crowd's into it. So don't make it harder than it has to be.
He's got this Paula thing over. Because they're
simple.
just chanting. I mean, it's like, you know, in the words of Kevin Sullivan, it ain't that hard, guys. We ain't building a rocket. These people are chanting Paula at a man by the name of Paul. Would you go to high school with him?
Yeah, maybe he did.
It's just good stuff. Harper, what were you talking about when you said whoa a second ago?
Watch.
I did rewind back.
Wait.
We're waiting.
Shh. I don't
Wade
know.
broke the.
Watch.
You must have saw something that is not there anymore. It's a glitch in the matrix.
They erased it. They don't.
They
It's what
erased
they
it.
don't want you. That's what they don't want you to see.
That's a little girl. I'm not about to laugh at her.
No.
Well,
It's the
keep it
woke
going, Harper.
media controlling what we see.
Okay, Harper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
Are they of age? They look underage.
I don't know.
They look like they're like 16, 17 at the most.
Yeah, but they could probably kick my ass.
Why are
Doesn't
you making
matter,
fun of
Harper.
these children,
That doesn't.
Harper?
No. Don't do that. All right.
They're 16 years old. I'm not making fun of them.
So that poor bastard sitting next to him, because like he wanted to go jump off a bridge.
Why?
Watch, right? Him.
Lower right corner.
That dude looks like he's getting ready to.
He looks like he should be on a fucking federal, some kind of watch list.
Bro, everybody else is chanting,
Right.
and he's sitting there like he's plotting to do some harm.
God, he's like the Highlander, like at the beginning when when they got the wrestling match going on.
Stoned out of his mind is what he is, because him and his buddy's sitting right next to him is stoned too when they pan out far enough. That said, Doc, look at both of them.
Oh,
two
yeah,
jabronis.
dude.
They're both stoned. They are stoned. Okay, Doc, what are you about to bring up?
They do take a break mid-match. You know how we used to say they didn't used to do all that kind of stuff. Well, they did.
Mm-hmm.
And this match was really good. I liked it. I was into it. I was watching it. But I got to get 119.35. I don't need audio. I just need video. And I need Harper to answer me a question.
119.35. So we're at 119.25 right now.
We're going to the crowd in a minute.
Right here?
No, we're going back.
Okay. We're about to hit 119.35.
Push pause.
All right.
Who brings a baby to the wrestling matches?
Man, I think that's somebody's wife.
Do you think that's somebody's baby?
Yeah.
What's a wife got to do with any of this?
That's nice.
Mike's told me too much about wrestlers.
These are good Christian athletes.
Mike, am I thinking about this the right way?
Are you trying to say that's one of the wrestlers' lady friends?
Yeah.
No,
With
what
a
I'm trying to
baby?
say is one of the wrestlers may get accosted by that lady later, trying to convince them that baby's theirs.
Maybe that's the lady that Pillman was plowing.
Come on.
That's
really?
nice.
Is that the kid that Pillman winked at?
Man.
Come on, man. What's
Man.
wrong with y'all?
Who brings a baby to wrestling?
Yeah, for real.
Everybody did back in the day. You couldn't leave them at home unattended.
But she's there by herself, though. That's the thing.
You don't know that. Maybe
All
she's
right,
with the
who's she
person
sitting
next to her.
Who?
I
Yeah,
don't
who's
know.
that?
Somebody is sitting next to her.
No, bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, Harper, you know
You're
it
bringing
all.
a
Won't you
baby
call
to
her up?
wrestling.
Where? Let's see. You see?
There's a
No one's
person to the left right there.
That's like, remember in Mr. Mom, you gave a baby chili?
First of all, that's a woman next to her.
I'm glad you
She's
can.
got pink on.
Dudes wore pink back then
That's
too.
assuming genders, Harper. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh,
Harper, come on.
Hey.
You know, Harper, your problem is you're too woke.
I'm sorry.
The funniest part is he's the least woke out of all three
I am
of us.
woke.
No, You are the least woke.
He will not take over.
I don't want to get him going. He is the least woke.
It's fine. Look, I thought the finish was good here too. And I'm good to go to the finish if you're ready.
All right. So Rick Rude, like I said, is on commentary. Orndorff throws Dustin outside the ring. They then start trading fists out there. Orndorff rakes the ref's eyes, and Dustin then sends Orndorff into the post, and the ref sees that and DQs Dustin. So Orndorff picks up the win here by DQ. The finish is fine. I mean, it's Saturday night on TBS. They brawl for a little bit after, and I got no problem with it. You know, if you want to see a clean finish, maybe go to the building, right? I don't know. It's fine. Your thoughts, Doc?
Well, this is the big fight field, but it's not the main fight because the main fight's with Rude. Rude's the final boss, so that made sense. That's why.
And at the end of it, Paul Orndorff wins, but he is reeling because he got sent into that post.
Yeah.
Rick Rude decides to come out, and Rude gets in the ring, and he challenges Dustin as we're going off air. And he wants Dustin to come out, but the refs and security end up holding Dustin Rhodes back. So we're out of time, so it ain't happening on this week. But I thought the finish was fine. Leaves a little bit of excitement. You know, the babyface is being held back. Rick Rude saying, no, let him go. He can get in the ring with me. We can do this right now. So I don't know. I'm good with the finish.
Worked for me.
Yeah, leave some excitement. So on that note, we got to rate it and hand out the Rolex Award or Toot Toot. We're giving both of those out now, I guess, since Ric Flair is back. Before we do so, remember, become a patron at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Not only do you get the video versions of these shows that we do here, but you get tons of extra Patreon content, the world-class shows, the WCW clashes that we've done to date, the WCW pay-per-views we've done to date, the Legacy Cast, the ECW shows. All of that is available on Patreon at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. That's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Doc, what are you going to rate it?
Maybe it's Harper's economic lesson or whatever, but I enjoyed the show more going back through it than I did when I watched it. And I didn't hate it then. I thought it was good. I'm going to say a very solid and uneventful but good B+.
God, I hate agreeing with you, but you're right. I'm giving it a B+.
I've gotten really good at rating these shows.
Yeah, you're an industry insider, right? Expert?
Right.
I'm a wrestling historian and a wrestling journalist.
And a doctor.
And a doctor.
You're not as good as Mike Johnson, but unlike Mike Johnson, you don't work yourself into a shoot, but that's cool.
What the
Harper, what are you going to rate it?
I'm going to give this a B.
Okay. Appreciate that, Hardball Harper. Doc, what are you going to...
That's nice.
Who you giving your Rolex to?
I have 2 Rolexes to hand out tonight. It's a special evening here.
We can give out 2 now? We making the rules different?
Well, you'll be okay.
Okay.
The first one I'm handing out is to Rick Rude.
That's fair.
Because even no matter if what he said was questionable, everything else he said was pretty strong too. And he's back on the scene and a credible threat to that U.S. title. And that's a good thing. My second Rolex tonight goes to Hardbody Harper, a renowned economist and and purveyor of capitalism everywhere. We can't listen to read his newsletter and peer review it. So I'm going to give him a Rolex for talking about getting us all smarter about economics.
That's right. You're welcome,
All right.
America.
Wait, we're bigger than America, dude.
Right.
Wow.
We get 50,000 people listening to us a day. If you add that up over the course of... I'm kidding.
We're all around the world.
Yeah, that's true. I'm with you. Rick Rude is going to get my Rolex. I'm going to give Arn my Toot Toot since we can give it out to 2 people now. Harper, who are you giving your Rolex
Harper
to?
doesn't get anything?
You gave Harper it. Why do I need to give it to him as well?
I get a T-shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Harper. Who are you giving the Rolex to?
I give mine to Rick Rude. He gets it.
So there we go. The votes are all in. B+, B+, B. Rick Rude, Arn, and then who else did you say, Doc? Harper. Get the Rolex this week. There we go. Appreciate y'all listening this week. Don't forget, when you see the show on social media, share it on Facebook, retweet it, repost it, whatever the hell they call it on Twitter these days. Greatly appreciate it. It does help the show out. Don't forget to send in your 5-star reviews on Podcast Addict or Apple Podcasts. And remember, last but not least, don't forget to become a patron at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Harper, let's roll and get out of here. Hit the tagline.
Book it, biatch.
Harper is crime broke because AI Bill Watts fined him a couple of months ago. And we keep hearing that you all want Harper to answer questions on the main show. Harper is ready to take your questions. If you want your question or questions answered, first send Harper $5 per question to his PayPal at cc30388cc@yahoo.com. After you send Harper $5, email your question or questions to Chris Harper 16wildcat@gmail.com. That's Wildcat with a K. And also email BookingTheTerritory@gmail.com your question. Also, make sure you state in your email what your name is and what your PayPal address is that you sent the money from. Remember, one question per $5. Kids, get your parents' permission before sending your money and emailing your questions. Lastly, if you missed the PayPal or email addresses, check the show notes and description for the details. And remember, be blessed and be a blessing.
This is AI Eric Bischoff. No, I am not the real Bischoff, so don't work yourself into a shoot like these useful idiots in the wrestling media field. With that said, congratulations on making it to the end of this week's show. Don't forget to send your comments about what the guys discussed tonight to Luke Hawks on Facebook and on Twitter or X or whatever the piss they call it now. The rumor is Luke likes answering BTT fan mail. Also, do the guys a solid by liking the show's Facebook, X, and Instagram pages. And don't forget to like and retweet or repost the show on all social media platforms. Lastly, become a BTT patron member where you get tons of extra shows. You can join at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Until next week, piss off.